Hello, we're going to be making a Celtic wave bracelet. We'll divide our strings into two, and then we'll start with our cream colored string and make a backward knot over all the strings on the right. We are making our triangle start. Now we'll take our next string, which is the second cream colored string, and we're going to make a backward knot too. With our lemon colored string now. Now I do not know the color of the next string, so I'm just going to say next green string, and we're going to make another backward knot after we finish with our lemon string, which is this, yes. So now we'll make our backward knots with this one, which is our second to the last knot now, and this is our last knot. So we're going to make our final backward knot with this one, and we'll head over to our left hand side to finish making our triangle ends and officially start the bracelet. Now we'll start with our cream color string, and we are going to make forward knots over the rest of the string. With our second cream color string, we're going to make forward knots. Now we'll take our lemon color string and make forward knots too, and we'll take our next color of strings. We're just going to continue making forward knots with all the strings we have in our left hand, and I will get back to you when we're done after this round. We are going to pick these strings, the cream strings in the middle and from both left and right hand sides. Then we'll use the first cream string on the left hand side to make forward knots over the other two from the right. This is our first forward knot, and we're about to knot on second forward knot on our second cream colored string. Now we'll take the second cream color string on the left, which is the only cream color string remaining on the left, and make two forward knots. Now we are going to make the right hand side of this bracelet first. So now we're going to take the right and start with our lemon colored string. We're going to make two backward knots over the cream colored string, so one backward knot over each colored string. So we're just going to use all the strings, the green strings on the right, to make backward knots over our cream colored strings. Now we'll take our next green string, I still don't know the name of. We're going to take our next green string and make a backward knot each over the cream colored strings only. With our next string, we're going to make two backward knots. This is our last string on the left. We're going to make two backward knots, and now we're on our second one. Just don't drop your string. If you've completed your second backward knot, then make two forward knots. Yes, make a forward knot on that same cream colored string you're holding, and then make on the second one now. One and the other half. Now take the next string, next green string, yes, and make a forward knot over our cream colored string. So we're making 2 forward knots, one over each cream colored string. Now we'll take our third string, yes, and we're going to make 2 forward knots. Now don't pull your strings too tightly, just pull until when you feel a little resistance, then let it go and make the other half of the knot. Don't pull them very tightly, or else the pattern of the bracelet won't come out very well. Now with our lemon color string, we're going to make the last forward knots. Now we're done with our right hand side. I'm going to move to the left. Now we'll start with our lemon colored string and do something similar. So we're going to take our cream strings and make 2 forward knots. 1 forward knot each, 2 forward knots. With our next green string, we're going to make 2 forward knots also. So now we're going to, with our third string, we're going to make 2 forward knots. Now we're holding our last string. We're going to make 2 forward knots too, but do not chop your strings because we are going to continue like we did on the right hand side. Now we're going to make 2 backward knots. Yes, a backward knot on the same string with the same strings too. Another backward knot on the last cream colored string. It will end right back on the left hand side. Now take the next green string and make 2 backward knots. Now with our next green string, we're going to make 2 backward knots. With our lemon colored string, which is our last, now we're going to make 2 backward knots also. Remember not to pull tightly, pull loosely, pull very loosely. Well, not that loosely, but just loose enough. Now that we are finished with that side, we're going to take our strings in the middle again. With the first one on the left, we're going to make 2 forward knots over the 2 strings, 2 cream colored strings on the right. That's one. Make sure you make the middle, which is what we're doing now, very tight because you don't want it to unravel later. Now with our second string, we are going to make 2 knots, 2 forward knots. When you're done with this part, I suggest you go back to the beginning and remake it because the pattern repeats. Also, I will link it in the video. It's on screen and in the description below. This is it. This is the one that I have finished. So meet me back when you are done and we will finish. Or the triangle end. Yeah, triangle end. Now we're going to take our third string and fourth string for green string, and we're going to make forward knots. Now with the next green color string, our second green color string, we're going to make forward knots over all 2. Now with our lemon color string, we're going to make a forward knot over the 3 strings at the same time. Next we'll do that with our cream colored string, and we're going to do it finally for that side with our last cream colored string, which completes the right side. Now with our left, we're doing some similar. We're making backward knots instead. So we'll take our second string and make a backward knot over the first two or last two. Now with our lemon string, we're making backward knots over all the strings on the left. Now cream colored string. Sorry, this part feels a bit too rushed. I think I want this video to be a little shorter than the last one. Yes, and this is our last string, and after this we are going to make twisted ties. This is the way I do mine, but there's an easier way. I think Masher Knots has a tutorial on it. And make a knot. When you're done making knots, then pull, and that's all for today.